that's how we psych ourselves up for this Kung Fu Panda 4 review. Woo! Oh, need to catch my breath before I start now. Oh yeah, nothing like a lip sync to some Tenacious D to wake you up, eh? Hey up everyone, so as you probably already sussed, today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is Kung Fu Panda 4, which is directed by Mike Mitchell. I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen the third Kung Fu Panda film. Yeah, for whatever reason I missed it, but I've been assured by like film Twitter friends that, you know, it's a solid movie. Maybe not as good as the first two, but still enjoyable. I am a fan of the first two movies. I love me some Jack Black as Poe, kicking ass along with the Furious Five. So I figured if there was an 8-year gap between the third and the fourth film, that's given the writers plenty of time to come up with an amazing story idea, and they must have a good reason for making this one, right? But I came out of my Kung Fu Panda 4 screening thinking, oh, is that it? It was fine. Not bad by any means, but far from anything special. After Poe is tapped to become the next spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace, he needs to find and train a new dragon warrior, whilst a wicked shape-shifting sorceress, Chameleon, played by Viola Davis, plans to resummon all the master villains who Poe has vanquished to the spirit realm. I saw this film at a family screening the other day, and it seemed like the kids in the audience were enjoying themselves, and that's what matters. The film is quite fast-paced, so it managed to hold their attention for most of it. Visually, it's got a lot of flair. The animation style was very fun and dynamic, particularly in the action scenes. And Jack Black is once again marvelous as Poe. He's really giving it his all with the voice work. You can tell this is a character that he really loves voicing, and he is so damn lovable as the voice of Poe. Also, the Tenacious D cover, Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, iconic. This is a rare instance where I actually love the song that is playing over the end credits. It's also used in a montage scene that wraps up the film. But yeah, I actually made Glenn stay through the end credits just so I could sing along to Jack Black singing to Britney Spears.
Oh baby, baby, how was I supposed to know?
Oh my god, that song just slaps. It's been my shower and workout song for the past 2 weeks.
Hit me, baby, one more time. My loneliness is killing me.
It's a cover that just really gets you pumped. But when it comes to my negatives, the main issue that I had with Kung Fu Panda 4 is the script. That being that it's very conventional and plays things very safe. Throw in all the cool Kung Fu action set pieces that you want. At the end of the day, it's still a generic, run-of-the-mill adventure story about two unlikely characters, that being Poe, voiced by Jack Black, and a cunning fox called Jen, played by Awkwafina, who go on a journey and they learn from one another and help each other to grow. It's a story we've seen done 1,000 times before, and it is beat for beat predictable. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? There's a reason the same stories get recycled, and this is a kid's movie. You've got to make it easy enough for them to follow. But, I don't know, when you've seen the story done 1,000,000 times before, you just start craving something original and fresh. As for the villain of this film, the Chameleon, who's voiced by Viola Davis, I thought this villain did have potential. I liked the idea of, you know, a shape-shifting villain for Poe to vanquish, like taking on someone who's maybe 5 times their size and has an array of abilities. But the story kind of mishandles its villains in a sense, because the Chameleon's own battle with Poe is kind of diluted down by the fact that there's the other master villains from the previous Kung Fu Panda movies brought back. Having the old villains come back, like Tang Wei, they're there, but they don't really get used that much. Like, they're just there for the sake of it, really. So they just kind of felt a little bit unnecessary. So yeah, they brought back the previous villains, but they couldn't find a way to include the more beloved characters like the Furious Five. Also, a lot of the jokes in this film felt quite familiar, like they'd been repurposed from other animated films. Like, there's a scene where the characters run into 3 adorable, cutesy-wootsy, itty-bitty little bunny rabbits, you know, who everyone's fawning over and going, oh, how cute are they? And then, you know, shock reveal, they turn out to be these psychotic, powerful little creatures that you don't want to mess with, yeah. And it's just like, oh, we've seen this joke done before in so many other films and TV shows. Also, is anybody else getting a little bit bored of Awkwafina showing up in all these animated kids films and doing the exact same voice for every character that she plays? Between this, The Bad Guys, Migration, Storks, The Little Mermaid, Angry Birds the Movie 2, and Riot and the Last Dragon, if you played me a random sample of audio of one of her characters from those films, I probably would have difficulty telling you which character is she's playing. Like, literally, it's the same voice, but a different animal each time. I just want to state for the record, I actually am a fan of Awkwafina. It's not the fact that she's in, like, every animated film that bothers me. I mean, a girl's got to work, it's an honest paycheck. It's just the fact that there's no distinguishable characteristics between all the characters that she's voicing. More often than not, it's just Awkwafina doing Awkwafina. She did a little bit of an accent in Migration. All I'm saying is that there are other talented voice actors working in Hollywood, but these studios are just using the same people over and over again. So it's getting very samey and repetitive, and too much of anything can get boring and stale. And yeah, if they're gonna keep using Awkwafina, can she at least branch outside of her just doing her regular voice? Because honestly, I am getting a little bored of hearing the same voice in all of these animated films. Anyway, thank you for listening to my TED Talk about why Awkwafina is in far too many animated films. And my final criticism of the film is that while it does have a sweet message about how it's never too late to change and do the right thing, it's not really saying anything new. It's the same message from previous movies, only slightly repackaged. All right, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Probably not. Never say never. Maybe I'll watch it one day with my nephews, but yeah, I have no desire to rewatch this again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? If you're a parent, I think there is enough good stuff in here to justify a family trip to the cinema. There's definitely worse ways to distract your kids for 90 minutes. But I would say with Kung Fu Panda 4 that this is definitely a case where kids will probably have an alright time with it, but parents will probably nod off. And if you're someone who's a casual viewer to the Kung Fu Panda franchise, I would say you're not really missing much with this one. It's the type of movie that I would watch on a plane, you know, to pass the time. And third question, what score would I give it out of 10? Kung Fu Panda 4 is passable, but very forgettable. It's clear this film doesn't pack the same punch as the first 2 films. I can't tell you about the third. So yeah, I'm gonna give Kung Fu Panda 4 a score of 4.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear from you. Have you seen Kung Fu Panda 4? If you have, what do you think of it? How does it rank for you in all the Kung Fu Panda franchise movies? Yeah, how do you rank them? Whatever you have to say, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, help me with a little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.